We are live on the internet.
Oh, well, I just realized I'm not actually ready.
What's up, Internet?
Sweet.
Hello.
Dan Sanson here. We're about to bring you some D&D.
Oh, good try, Ernie. Good try.
I don't know about where you guys are in Texas, but it is hot here.
Oh, it is very hot here. Running
Yeah.
solid
It's on
over
fire.
100 for a while.
Dude, for this past weekend, for 3 days this weekend, Vancouver had the worst air quality of any major city in the world.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of fires happening up in, like, the Pacific Northwest, right?
Fires. Everything's on fire.
Yeah, my mom's in Montana right now. She's going to be in Spokane, Washington tonight. And she says everything. Like, she was talking to me about it today. Everything's on fire.
Yeah, man, air's gross.
Yeah.
Today there was good breeze. It lightened up a little bit, but we were worse than every major city on the planet. It's
Whoa.
insane.
That's weird.
When you're worse than Los Angeles, you know you done fricked up.
We were worse than like all of India and all of like, you know, poorly regulated third world places with all that stuff. The world's on fire, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's like global warming, great.
Yeah.
I just rolled 6 d20s. I rolled 3 16s and 3 14s.
Sounds normal.
I feel like you should have saved that for the game. All right.
But I wanted to fight them out for my love to see which one I was going to use today. But
Ah. So, Josh, are you now ready?
I am indeed ready.
Okay. So, when last we left off, you had all adventured to the great dwarven city of Gatshaw in hopes of finding another piece of Caliburn buried somewhere deep in the Verloren, or, as most of you know it, the Underdark. Now, Gatshaw is an interesting town, as it is both one of the largest and wealthiest cities in Arcalia, but also the home of your party member, Dubar. So, you arrived, had some interactions with some merchants, and made your way into the city, getting a sense of how chaotic and clustered this place is, until you finally made your way to the market district, where you met a purveyor of Verloren oddities and other strange artifacts in the middle of the city. We left off with you there currently shopping with him, poorly, considering that he had a very seemingly disorganized shop. I can assure you, it is now very organized. And we return to Gergely's shop, where you may continue your attempted transactions. Noting you already bought and paid for the Dwarven box of transport and the Verloren Waystones. Yeah.
Yes. What do the Waystones do again?
They find each other, basically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
they
yeah,
pulse
yeah.
faster.
Mhm.
Yes.
Very handy.
Very very handy.
So, as you
Who
guys
has
are
them
then...
Hypothetically.
right now? Sorry, go ahead.
No,
I
go
believe I
ahead.
have them.
Okay. You had them, Josh?
I mean, I bought them, so I paid for them. So I assume I have them. It wasn't explicitly
Yeah, you didn't give
stated,
them out to
but I mean, we're gonna try and cut a deal. Figure, depending on how many things we could purchase partially. At least that was my intent.
Trying
Well.
to dicker them down.
That is certainly something you can try.
I mean, we're spending a lot of money at this man's place of business.
Yep.
So, as this transaction finishes...
Now that he's more organized,
Right.
does
So,
he have any other notable things?
yeah. So Gergely, he hands you those two things, takes the gold, and he says, So, adventurers, what else could I possibly offer you?
I don't know. What other things can you offer us?
Well, I have a set of recovered plate armor from the Verloren, as well as a warhammer. I have a vial of some kind of ancient dwarvish oil.
Let me see that.
And he pulls out a vial of his deep black liquid and hands it to you.
Tell me more about this plate mail.
Okay,
Also,
one thing at a
can
time.
I see if I can identify said alchemical substance?
Make an alchemy check.
Just intelligence, I guess. Yeah.
And proficiency.
Okay. Oh god, so +8. It's a natural one.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Dubar,
Put that all.
you can scarcely believe your eyes. But this is torch oil. Like, really good, high density torch oil that typically lights on fire quite well and can be used as a weapon as such. Almost like alchemist fire.
Why is this so special? It's just torch oil.
And Gergely kind of crosses his arms and leans back and he goes, torch oil. Is that what you think this is?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Well, I understand that we are not all quite so educated in the arts of alchemy and ancient things. But this is not torch oil. This is a substance that is occasionally found in Verloren expeditions that, when coated upon a surface, makes it very, very slippery.
Oh. Like... Well... Very slippery?
Yes, to an extreme level. Heavy things can be pushed along the ground almost as if they had no weight at all.
Oh, sweet.
How much is this oddity of yours?
I would part with this, as it is not the rarest thing in here. I think I could part with it for 60 gold pieces.
We'll keep looking and I'll decide in a minute.
Fair enough. And you, large tiefling man, you're some kind of a fascination all on your own.
Thank you.
You were looking at the plate, correct?
I was.
So, this is a very rare find indeed. In fact, I only know of one or two nobles that have acquired anything of its like. This is Verloren plate armor, which has a few very notable properties. In addition to being substantially tougher and stronger than the rest of what you'll typically find, it also is weighted in such a way that makes it to where once you've learned how to properly use it, it grounds you in a way. It grounds your center of gravity and makes it very hard for you to be pushed or knocked over.
Cool. I'll take it.
Well, hold on one moment. This is an exceptionally rare piece of Dwarven history. Selling it to someone not of Gatshaw, well, it is... Let's just say that there's a small tax levied on such items.
Well, I'm from Gatshaw.
Well, so it would seem you are. Well, then in that case, I could of course sell it to you for the very reasonable price of 5,000 gold pieces.
Yeah. Would you like to take out a loan, Lupo?
Sell a kidney.
I can make a. Could I trade? I'll offer to trade some of the other stuff I have. If he's interested in some other awesome magical stuff.
He crosses his arms. I'm willing to have a look.
Have you ever heard of wound?
You don't have wound.
I
Nope.
don't have wound. Okay.
Okay, you gave it to your whatchamacallit.
Well, you gave it to Jules's
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
half-orc follower.
That's right. No, then I'll take it out of my inventory. How about the Thunderbrand Warhammer?
He backs up for a second and says, Now that is an item that I find very interesting. One second, may I look upon it and see what it is like?
Of course, it is an item of amazing power and presumably value.
Of course. I don't doubt that one bit. Let me... he begins to inspect it.
Magically or non-magically?
He is inspecting it. And by that I mean the DM is looking up that item real quick.
Inspection time. And while that's happening, I'm gonna pull Dubar over like to the side for a second.
Mm-hmm. Hey, who has the Frostbrand longsword, by the way?
I do.
Okay.
Like, hey,
Uh-huh.
do you know him? Like, is he like familiar to you, or is it just a?
Now,
I know we went over the whole like.
yes.
Do you know him? Do you know him?
Yeah.
Do you know him? But do you know him?
You actually know.
I
Kieran,
do not
or
think I do.
Dubar, make a history check.
Okay, well, I will get back to you momentarily, Jules. History, so 16.
16. This is an old shop. Kind of, it's almost a staple in a way of the Market District because he's one of the only people who can legally sell Verloren artifacts. You know, he expressly acquired that permission from the High Council, which is a thing that they had to actually vote on to allow him to do. So you've heard of him, even if you haven't met him.
Okay. Well, I know him only by reputation. He is a bit of an oddity himself, and that all this stuff he sells is something almost no one else can do, if not anyone else.
So would you be mad if maybe I tried to persuade him?
To what?
A better deal? Maybe something he wouldn't usually be open to?
I would say we are about to have a lot of eyes on us, and having that happen earlier is not a good idea. And trying to save like 50 gold is not worth it.
Sure.
100%.
Does a
What if
character?
we save like 4,000?
What were you saying, Lubo?
I was gonna ask if a character. It doesn't specify in the spell. Would a character know that they've had command cast on them?
If it doesn't say that they would in the spell, then they probably wouldn't.
Okay.
I think most of those they don't know
Unless it-
until the spell's over.
But it doesn't say like. I
Or
know that in some
fails.
spells it's like they know that they've been, spelled
If
and will
it
be mad at you.
doesn't say it, then it really comes down to how adept the person is at the arcane and whether or not you think that they would recognize those effects.
Well, did he magically identify the hammer or not? I know you said
No,
you
no,
were
he did not
looking for it.
magically identify the hammer.
Okay.
Because if I just
Fair enough. And me and Dubar. Fine.
Okay.
I'm just gonna cast command.
Okay. Read me command.
Speak a one-word command to a creature you can see. It must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn. It has no effect if the target is undead, doesn't understand me, or if my command is directly harmful to it.
Okay.
Trade.
What was the DC?
16.
So you see his eyes kind of glaze over a little bit. I like you. It's a deal. And he trades you the longsword for the plate armor.
Cool. The Warhammer.
Oh, sorry, Warhammer.
Yeah.
Or the plate
Okay,
armor.
cool.
So
Good
go ahead
deal,
and
friend.
remove the Warhammer from your inventory, and I will add your new item.
Good deal, friendo.
You see Jules just looking at Dubar with his hands open, he's like, you didn't let me? Like,
Well, he didn't ask.
Didn't let you what?
no, he didn't let me get I wanted the
He wanted the plate mail.
the scarf on the, it's a fine, I don't,
There's a scarf?
But we'll find something for you, Jules. Don't worry.
well, it's okay, I'm fine.
Wait, what's the scarf?
No, he's just making a joke.
Oh, I see. Okay, do you need armor? You can have my other plate mail.
I don't think Jules could wear plate armor if he wanted.
No,
to.
I'm fine.
Okay, you have the Dwarven plate in your inventory now.
Dope. Okay, cool.
X-nay on the,
Cool.
So, you see him kind of shake his head a little bit, and he just looks around and he goes, huh. Well, it's a deal's a deal. I think that this was all in all a equitable exchange.
Agreed.
Would you like to see anything else that I have?
You could show it to us, and if it is sufficiently intriguing, then what's your? You said something about a favorite item earlier.
So, in addition to what I've already shown you, I have one more set of plate armor from the Verloren that is quite special. It is, I would say, not as well built as the one that you have just purchased. However, it does have properties, I believe they are arcane in nature, that protect the user from the effects of extreme fire.
Tight.
That sounds cool.
I have a vial of very, very potent poison that comes from the glands of one of the great purple worms that carve new tunnels throughout the Verloren.
How much would that run a fellow? The poison.
It is very rare, very hard to harvest, quite obviously. You have to find a recently dead purple worm to do so, and since they are nigh unkillable while underground, that means a whole lot of luck. And I would unfortunately not be able to part with it for anything less than 2,000 gold pieces.
Yay. Dubar, would you want to go halvesies with me? Worst case scenario, we use it to save ourselves. Best case scenario, you use it for research.
I don't have enough to go have these on me.
Okay.
Would you want a different set of? It's not magical, my old plate mail, but it's my old plate armor. But it's probably worth something, eh?
Are you talking to Gergely?
Yes.
He says,
Or you as the DM. I don't know. I
So-
don't remember what the prices for things are.
so,
Plate armor is 1,500 GP.
Right, Gergely kind of waves his hands. I'm sorry. This does not have a place in my shop, although it is of high quality make. Certainly, I would try one of the armor smiths, but I do not deal in armor per se. I deal in artifacts.
Cool.
As
Magical
he says
wares?
that, as he says that, as you can see, I was perusing through the items on the shelves, and I rolled a 3. Um,
Okay,
I would assume maybe, like, I maybe dropped a couple things
so
in the background.
as you're sort of looking through, you're like, oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. And you see this one shiny crystal, and you just kind of lean into it and then trip and knock it off of a desk. And you see Gergely, and he just puts his arms out in like this like self-defense position and
I
waits.
put my hands up and drop everything that I have.
And he waits, and he's staring at not you but the crystal. And he waits more, and then he finally looks over and goes, "Okay, let's your young one, someone should put a leash on him while he's in here. These things are expensive and often very
whoa.
dangerous. And that is not something that I want breaking. For both of those reasons."
Could
Do you sell leashes?
Unfortunately, no.
Damn.
I'll just go next to Lubo and just.
Can you elaborate on said
So,
dangers and why you're just casually keeping said dangers?
so he picks it up and slowly, carefully examines it, and he goes, "Well, Veloran artifacts often come with their own set of dangers, and the lure of that danger is quite a large part of it brings in my clientele, if I'm being honest. So here they stay." And he holds up the small gem. He says, "For example, this gem, it can only be found in the deepest, most far explored reaches of the Veloran. This is what we call a fire crystal. That being said, it may do something somewhat different than what you expect. It, if crushed, if destroyed, it releases a trapped elemental of fire that lays waste to whatever happens to be nearby. So, we are careful with this."
You might want to put that in like a cabinet or some kind of glass case or something, just for
Well,
future reference.
yes, and to be fair, this particular... Fair enough. This particular gem would do no harm to its wielder, or by wielder I mean whoever did the crushing. So, I like to have it handy in case ne'er-do-wells show up.
Fair enough.
So, also it is for sale.
Nothing coin can't fix, huh?
Exactly. I would part with this for 500 gold pieces.
I think we're good.
Well, that is all the stock that I am willing to part with right now. Much of what you see is on reserve by nobles and guild members and the like.
Are you at liberty to say what noble houses are at what? One in particular?
Oh, well, there are a great many things. I have another Valoran Waystone that is currently on reserve by House Rand as well.
Let me just cut to the chase here. Does the Cardall family have anything reserved?
The Gardal family show specific interest. I find that interesting. However,
It's interesting, isn't it?
hold on one moment. And he leans in very close. He grins. Well, the Gardals do in fact have a little something on reserve. They have yet to send someone to collect it. I can only assume that is because of the troubles with the Vulgate expansion. Though, they have a small trinket that was recovered. It was only recently that I discovered the nature of the device. But it allows the wielder, if they have some kind of connection, often it is helped by having a possession or even a piece of the person, allows them to see an individual from a distance.
Hmm.
Well then.
They have
What?
yet to come collect it. It was recently discovered, and it took me a few months before I was able to decipher what it did. But as usual, once I did uncover the properties of an item, I sent out a small post to all of my usual clients and informed them of it and what it did. The Gardals showed immediate interest.
Hmm.
A powerful artifact like that must be worth a lot, huh?
Quite a bit. And as I said, it is on reserve.
There you go. What if I could beat that price?
And undercut one of my greatest clients? No thank you. Their patronage is more valuable to me than whatever sum you could conjure.
Didn't we just have a conversation that coin could fix anything?
Yes, coin can fix anything. And the long-term clientele is worth much more to me than any one transaction.
Well, let's just say this is a singular transaction between us.
Well, show up again, and then again, and then again, and maybe we could talk about that, but
Just
in
out
the
of
meantime...
just out of morbid curiosity, how much is it?
Oh, I would not part with something of that magnitude for anything less than 9,000 gold, which is approximately what the Gardals have offered to pay. It makes me wonder, though, such a hefty sum, even by my standards. They must be looking for someone very important. And he just grins like a devil at you.
Well, surely this is out of character. Surely there are rumors. Like my absence isn't
Oh, yeah.
secret, right?
Oh, yeah. It was talked about for a while.
Ooh, okay, then I'll say, well, I can think of one such individual.
Can you now?
Yeah, I think everyone can.
Of course.
I can't. Being a non-native and all.
Listen, I do not like side speak, double speak, or any other form of speak other than direct and transactional. So let me be frank. It took a while, but I do know who you are, Dubar Gardal.
Okay, so before we start doing that, we have gone to links to hide it. So how did he figure it out? Because I don't have my guns.
Because you
changed
asked
my
about
hair.
the Dubar, you asked about the Gardals specifically after
Okay.
after talking to him about a device that locates people. And then,
No, that Gardals was before the locating people.
but they are connected. And after those two prompts, I had him roll an intelligence check. He rolled very well. And you get the
How
sense from
is-
looking at him that he's a very smart guy who's been here a while.
How is asking about one of the most famous families, if not the most powerful family in the city,
It's
a
the
trigger?
correlation between the two events. And then this dwarf that he has never seen before comes in and
Again,
starts
like-
asking about it. He just did a scan of you, Kieran.
I think that's not fair, but whatever.
And he's very smart.
But again, like, that's like asking about the royal family. Like, how is that a trigger? Whatever.
Well, that's also part of why he had the suspicion. He
From what?
recognizes you to some degree.
Would he have ever seen me? How?
Okay,
If I didn't know who he was.
so he's dealt with your family a lot. He knows what you generally look like based on your parentage and siblings, likely. And then going into this, last session I said, your disguise will probably,
Yeah,
Maybe-
hold up to people who have seen me.
no, probably hold up to people who have briefly encountered you. Probably being the operative word. I said it probably wouldn't. In fact, almost definitely wouldn't hold up to people who know you directly. I rolled to see. He rolled very well.
Okay.
We made our bed. Now we get to figure out what we're gonna do about it
So,
in a non-brutal way.
Oh.
Gonna go ahead and shut that off.
I hope that you don't feel cheated. I do not mean to.
I just
It
don't
feels
see the
all
thought,
very
but
logical to me. But
Again, it's like, to me, it's like asking about the Gates family or Jeff Bezos. Like, I just don't see how that triggered anything. But
it was the two items in conjunction.
It's
yes,
fine.
but
And then him rolling a ridiculously high intelligence check.
So,
all right, well, what is he saying?
well,
Okay. So, he says, I am interested as to why you have returned.
can a
don't
man
see
come
why I
home to
have
see his
to-
family,
Fair
Or
enough,
not-
but most,
or not see his family?
of course, but men don't often leave the way that he did, especially dwarven nobles. So,
Oh, well, I don't see why I should tell you.
oh, you are not obligated to. I'm not obligated to say anything either.
So, just taking 2 steps back from that item that you had was reserved for the Gardels, and seeing as there's one right in front of you,
Well, you see, this is the very particular reason why I intend to keep quiet. For now, of course. Because this. I find this infinitely more interesting than simple transactions. I would like to know how it plays out. And he looks at you, Gardel, and he says, or he looks at
Is
you,
he-
Gavar, and he says, I am very old. And chasing gold is in my nature, and so I continue to do so. But in my many years, I have developed an interest in the things that happen in the city. They have an effect on how coin flows. You coming back may have an effect on how coin flows. So, I want to see how this plays out.
Well,
hold on before we go any further. Is he telling the truth about he doesn't want to tell anybody?
Make an insight check.
That is a insight. That is a 20.
You get the sense that he's telling the truth. Nothing alludes to him lying.
It's
so I
something.
guess I'll go ahead and say, well, if you plan on keeping a secret, what I'll tell you is that Valoran artifacts will soon be much more prevalent,
Oh, will they?
most likely.
We
Well-
have anything to say about it?
I am one who believes in exchange, fair exchange, commerce. And for giving me that little clue, I will give you a little clue. Your brother, Dubar, was in here not too long ago, trying to preemptively acquire the same artifact that you are trying to preemptively acquire from your father. That is unlike him. I've seen Erenbar in here a lot. Always just searching for curiosities, as is his particular field of interest. But he was frantic. And he seemed like he really, really needed this. Of course, I did not sell it to him. I would not do that, as we have already discussed. But it piqued my interest. I've had my eye on your family ever since. Just trying to understand what is happening. Add to that the disappearance of Erenbar's teacher and the growing hostilities in the Vulgate expansion, and change is coming. I've been suspicious of it for a while. I've been suspicious of every single person that walked through this door for a while.
So, since, let's call it, again, morbid curiosity you have for seeing how things are going to turn out, could you get my brother here again to come here alone so that I could talk to him?
I have never asked or requested your brother's presence. He just arrives from time to time to see what new Valoran trinkets have come in. To be quite honest, I have occasionally allowed him to help me in identifying these trinkets. He has a real gift.
So
Could
would
you
it...
put out the word
Go ahead.
you've got some more? Some new Valoran trinkets?
Well, that would likely draw Erenbar and his father here.
Yeah. What if we could get a message to him? So would it be totally unprecedented for you to contact clientele about maybe something?
Particular item of interest or in his
Maybe,
area?
Let me be frank, Dubar, I'm not going to help you. I will also not hinder you. I'm a neutral party, and will remain as such. I have been here this long by not taking sides.
So what is this? Have we heard about the, how'd you call it? Something Gate expansion?
The
Westgate?
Vulgate expansion.
Vulgate.
You briefly
That's-
heard about it.
It's a new part of the city, right?
Yep.
And isn't it going deeper, kind of towards the Underdark?
Well, not necessarily, but it's a new expansion that could potentially be worth quite a bit in terms of revenue based on what's going there. But you have kind of picked up through talking to people and talking to Gergely that there is a bit of a debate currently about who owns the Vulgate expansion, whether it's the nobles or the guilds.
So, well, if we're done looking at items, I guess, anyone else have anything to look at?
Are you through this guy?
Yeah, he's not going to help us, and that's all I wanted to know. So.
Well, This is out of game, but I think that artifact is going to be very problematic for you in the future.
No, probably, but he's made it very clear. Now that I
Ah.
know about it, I can research how to counteract that.
That's true. Uh,
Or you can steal it.
well,
No, that's
my
not doing
thought
anything.
was we could steal it, but I think that it's filed under. He's not willing to help us.
So Jules is gonna walk up
Okay.
to the guy.
Yeah.
Brand will be keeping a very close eye on Schultz as he does this. But
Listen.
doesn't stop him.
Listen. To the shopkeep.
Okay.
I know you know who he is. You know that if... Oh, wait. No, before I do this. You know what? I'm gonna take that back. Because I just realized what the DC requires, and
Hmm.
I don't want to. I feel like I would metagame.
Well,
I don't want to dig us into a much larger grave here.
yeah. I could
I'm
also.
just already hesitant as it is. So
Do you, how important is it for us to get that trinket to bar?
yeah, first of all.
I think one fire at a time.
Yeah, I guess we'll buy ourselves some time, and if we go into the Underdark, have fun chasing us down there, I guess. All right.
Yeah, Jules is getting itchy. He just wants to either cast something, burn something, or...
Alright. Let's get out of here. What was this guy's name again?
Gergely.
Put it in my note.
Gergely.
I may actually already have it.
And it's bugging me, so I want to be a little more transparent with you, Kieran. There was a list I made of everyone in the city who has a chance of recognizing you. He was on it. And I still made him roll. So...
Okay, are we done?
Yep. Let's get out of here.
We'll say, well, Gergely, wait for the fireworks. Should be able to hear them from here.
Most certainly. They'll probably be coming from the Vulgate expansion. Do be careful.
Well, can't promise that.
So, you guys exit the shop and descend the stairs back down into the market district. And before you have time to really react to everything that has happened, as you hit the bottom of the stairs, you hear the cracking sound of something hitting something else very hard. And you see two groups of dwarves who seem to be kind of squared off against each other. And the two who seem to be leaders of each of these mobs are sort of like having a shouting competition with each other. And one of them says, "The nobility cannot deny us the right to what we have acquired. The Masons Guild built the new extension, and therefore we own it." And on the other side, you see, "But Master de Vries, by law, House Holstog controls the aqueducts in Gatshaw. And since your new expansion contains aqueducts connected to the Master Spillway, we own those parts of your expansion. So anything that happens there requires our approval as much as yours." And De Vries sort of just responds by like slamming a hammer on the ground, and you see that like weapons are drawn between these two groups.
What? Sorry. Hold on. Not to backtrack here. Maybe you did take into account, maybe you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
With what that happened earlier, and that he was on the list, plus a DC. Also, Dubar has the disguise kit on current.
That's what created the DC.
Got you. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I just realized looking through my inventory.
Yeah, no,
Just
I knew about
curious.
the... Had
There
he
are-
not had a DC, Dubar would have just walked in, and Gergely would have gone, oh, hey, it's you.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha. I'm just looking through my stuff. Okay, so these two guys are arguing outside.
yeah. All right. So, you see the two arguing outside, and as they as they're in the midst of this argument, you see that some guards now, some city guards, are kind of like moving in to try and separate them. But so far, they're not really having any success. And actually, it's when one of the dwarves, who you've heard referred to as De Vries, looks over and sees you, this haphazard group of strangers and outsiders. He kind of looks at all of you and goes... He looks at the other person and he says, see, Holstog? We have outsiders. People who clearly have some kind of money. And here you are, trying to start a riot in the middle of the market district.
Should I roll a perception check to see if I see him, or do I just see him blatantly, just like in front of us?
Oh, they're just in front of you. Like, they're sort of blocking, in a way, the staircase going down back into the market district.
So how many people are on each side?
So you see, each side there's about 5 dwarves, and now there's about 2 or 3 like guards that are trying to break it all up.
I'll nudge Lupo and say, hey, can you do anything about this?
What do you want me to do?
You talk scary sometimes, don't you?
And tell them what? I don't live here. I don't know which of them is right.
That's about to be our problem if they don't stop talking.
Can't we just go around them?
I mean, we could just ignore them, right?
We
Yeah.
can try.
Well, we're trying to be unobtrusive here. If there's a riot and we're not involved in the riot, take away some eyes
Yeah.
from us.
I feel like our
Uh-oh.
Josh.
Josh is frozen. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Ha ha ha! Now I'm not the frozen one.
Hey, I
I'm
see
back.
movement again. Okay.
I am alive.
What did you say?
I was saying, I feel like our odds of getting out of our riot scenario were a lot better than the average shows, you know?
You are welcome to try and just avoid this situation.
All right.
I
You're
mean,
also welcome to
PR.
intervene. It's whatever you guys want to do.
So, there's the guys from the Masons Guild, and who's the opposing force?
You've heard him referred to as Lord Holstarg.
Yeah. So this seems like a capitalist endeavor that Lubo, as a guest in this place he hates, to do with.
Okay. Hey, Dan, can you tilt your camera down just a bit? Your face is completely covered up by... There you go. All right.
Right.
All right,
Mm,
well,
I
if
mean,
I don't want to mess with them, then we can just go on around.
I'm trying to get.
Okay,
Shows
so they
response.
are sort of in your way. I want to get a group stealth check, but this is not like to avoid being seen. This is more to like see how well you guys can like just don't look at me. We're just going by. Just don't look at me. Like how well you guys can avoid attention.
17.
28, I believe? Yes, 28.
Well,
14.
Okay. Dubar?
12.
12. Oh. Okay. That's
Boys.
interesting. I need a tiebreaker. And I'm going to randomly determine who gets to roll the tiebreaker.
Me.
Me.
It is Josh.
Hey. Good
So-
luck, boys.
Brand, go ahead and roll one more stealth check.
Okay, 29.
Okay, yeah. So, You guys are like, okay, don't want anything to do with it.
Awkward.
And you kind of skirt through. You see people are like looking at you, but you are managing to sort of keep the attention off of yourself as much as you can. Okay, hold on. I need to make one more little roll. It's an outside chance. Nothing could go wrong, right? Cool. Yeah, you guys get away scot-free. And Dubar, this man who has met you before, did not recognize you.
Yay.
So, and you've met Lord Holstard before, like in passing. You know, you're not close relations or anything, or close friends, but you're from a noble family. He's from a noble family. Like, you've crossed paths.
Yeah.
So, I would say if you would probably describe him as kind of boorish, as far as like a personality. But you guys managed to sneak by this little mob, and as you guys are making your exit sort of away from the situation, you see that there are a few more guards starting to trickle in, but right as the guards are getting close, one of the men from the guild's side actually impales one of the noble guards with a sword, and at that point the guards draw weapons, and now there's like fighting happening. It's very brief, and the guards managed to get everyone sort of separated, but there was a casualty from this encounter.
You died from
Whoever's in
that?
front of me, I'm like pushing them to like just go.
Whoa. Relax. This guy died from getting hit with a sword one time.
No, Blind said he got impaled.
Yeah. It stabbed him through his gut.
I mean, that would hurt a lot.
I don't.
Is he just like dead on the spot, or can I try and get to this guy?
Since this is not a combat scenario, I'll say that if Bran acted within what would be, so what rounds are 6 seconds long, 3 death saves, you have like somewhere just under 20 seconds, 6, 12, 18 seconds that he could hypothetically be rolling death saving throws if this were a combat.
This is not our fight.
Yeah, I'm walking forward.
I mean,
If
Not that
Lubo
big.
saw you,
I mean, it's not a
about to
fight.
go off in that direction, he would hold your shoulder and say, "This is not our fight."
it doesn't have to be our fight to keep somebody from dying.
We're getting involved in a fight.
Is there a hypothetical way I could get to this man without
Didn't this
being
giant city
involved
that
in a fight?
So if you
Even
if you waited until the last minute as the fight breaks up, you would be very like teetering on the edge of how long that guy can be like that. But you could get in there without being in the fight. That being said, I'm not going to lie to you because Bran would be aware of this. Using a spell in this environment will draw attention, maybe not hostility, and probably not hostility, but it will draw attention.
Even if I sneak over there and do it?
I mean, sneaking's not even really the way things are right now. Now we're looking at like 20 people gathered in this small area with heightened awareness of combat. I mean, sneaking's not really on the table.
Would they be paying attention to me or each other?
They'd be looking at the guy dead on the ground. That's for damn sure. There's no way you're going to stealth through this. You can go over there and attempt to heal him, but you will be seen doing it. That is up to you. I've already said it. It's not necessarily going to be hostile, but you will be seen.
Jules is about like 20 paces below, like waiting. Like,
I want to go over there.
Okay. So
I
Bran,
will attempt to hold on to his collar to stop him from going over there. I will contest a strength check if need be.
are both players willing to accept the results of a contest like this? Whatever they may end up.
Yeah.
It's I have to use strength. I
No.
can't use
It would
something
be
else.
since it would be a grapple. It would be Lubo's strength versus Bran's dexterity.
I'm down.
Okay, so athletics versus acrobatics is what it would actually be.
Okay. Athletics. I'm happy with athletics. All right. Shit. 15. 16.
21.
Okay, so there's this moment where Lubo, you see him start to dart off, his instincts kicking in to try and go help, and you reach out to grab, but it's just too late, and he's already gone.
Sing that. I'm gonna wait. So, one second before we do this, because it's all happening immediately. How far away is Bran from the guy who's down?
25 feet ish, 30 feet.
When he gets to about 10 feet ish.
I really just don't want me to save this guy.
No. When he gets to about 10 feet,
It's true.
Jules is gonna use which hold on. Which is the Sparks one? Minor illusion, thaumaturgy,
Minor illusion can create audio or visual, but not both. I think thaumaturgy can create minor spark effects.
I'll use minor illusion and just create this huge like crashing of like plates and like imagine like there was like 20 sets of armor on the wall and I just dropped all of them at once.
Okay, because you're throwing a spell into this, Bran, I'm going to allow an attempt at a stealth check, but the DC is going to be very high and you have disadvantage.
Okay.
Like when he's like within like 5-10 feet of approaching the guy, I'm gonna make that sound to make everyone turn around.
I will.
And while he does that, I'm gonna scream, oh no, oh god.
29 or 28 on the first check, and a 28 on the second check.
I hate you. So
I have
everyone
+10
turns to
stealth.
see this crashing sound. You get the sense that a lot of them perceive that there's some kind of other fight breaking out, and everyone's attention diverts over to that. And in just
I'm like holding my foot, like jumping on one foot, like
in just a brief moment, you make it over to the guy, but time has passed. So I am gonna roll real quick to see if this guy's still alive.
All right.
So I'm basically gonna roll through a death save cycle, and if he gets a success, he'll still be alive. Okay. When you get there, he is just barely breathing.
Alright, so if I cast a spell right now, will anybody notice or not?
They seem to be distracted right now.
I'm like, can someone come? Oh my goodness,
I can attempt to stabilize him without a spell, right?
Yeah. I will. Here, I'll make this very mechanical for you.
Okay.
You have one action in which you are guaranteed hidden. Everyone's looking away.
I'll
Everything
cast
past
Cure Wounds on
that is going to be okay.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to expend a spell slot and cast Cure Wounds. So in that moment, you see breath, and the wound seems to seal itself shut. And he is just starting to like look around, and he sees you for
And
just
then
a
I'm out.
second. You're just bolting? All right. So
I'll just give him a nod and then I'm out.
So you bolt back to the group and kind of slide back into where Lubo's at, leaving the area, and you kind of look over your shoulder, and you see a bunch of dwarves they're just looking at him like, what? You were dead.
I am also bolting right behind that. I am not.
Okay. By the way,
Just
the
like
DC
that.
on that was 25.
I had no fear.
Because that's ridiculous. That is pure abject luck. Like, okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's my thing.
No,
What
I
do you
know.
want from me?
I know, but I still thought with disadvantage there would be no. Anyway. So, but you did it. Good job. You put your point, you spent your points well, and you got the best ending in Mass Effect. Good job. So.
What,
Now
ending
you-
on the first game?
And
Are
we're
we
not
like going quietly through the city? Is there a place where we could like be out of like chat for a sec?
So in the market district, you guys tend to actually blend in kind of well. There's a few, more than a few outsiders that come in here to trade. And there's like a side alley you guys could tuck into where you'd be mostly alone.
Okay. Let's go in there, and I'm gonna push Brand up against the wall and say, "What the fuck is your problem? Why did you do that?"
Whoa, I'm kind of like get small me, get in between them. Whoa, hey, whoa.
Oh, yo, hey, yo.
I'm gonna be like, what is the point for any war if you're just gonna let
Also,
innocent
wouldn't-
people die?
I've
To-
seen
to
you
be
kill
devil's
so many
advocate here.
people. Why do that one?
Innocent people?
I'm sure they thought so. You didn't kill this person. Are you healing every person that you see injured? I never saw you go out to the
but
battlefield and like heal some of our soldiers either.
I
Like, why are you
definitely,
putting this
I
on the
definitely,
line now?
I definitely did that after the battle over ends.
Why are you?
I made it-
Why did you feel the need to do this right now?
Because I'm not just gonna sit by and let innocent people die whenever I can easily save them.
Okay, and you're willing to risk our lives too.
Were your lives at risk? If anything, I was putting myself at risk.
We got out. We got through it.
I mean, are we gonna split
I
hairs
got
over
you.
everything that could go wrong? Like the time you teleported after, what's his name? And he could have turned on you and killed you or something? I mean, that could have happened
Sure.
too.
But he could have killed me. You were 500 feet away, and that was the middle of a battle. We
How
weren't
is that
trying to
any,
sneak around.
how is that any different than this scenario?
You get on. You guys have talked to me about stealth all the time, and then you go pull that shit.
Yeah, you know who you're talking to? Did you not see what I just did?
Okay, I'm saying that as a party member and as a soldier, I disagree with what you did.
Okay, I looked to the other two. Do y'all disagree with what I just did?
I think. Also, what's Echo doing that Lubo has Brand against the wall?
She's probably very not happy about
She's
it.
very not happy, but she's known Lubo for a while, so she's like waiting for Bran to say something before she does anything.
Listen, the part of the group is that we have each other's backs, right? Yeah, maybe that wasn't the first or second choice, but hey, you know what? He went for it, and we helped out. I helped out, and we made it out. So, if I were to put my foot in my mouth, metaphorically, I would hope that one of you would maybe want to pull me out and bail me out, and that's the whole point of this, right?
Huh.
We're not trying to. Maybe it wasn't the first or second choice, but it was the choice nonetheless. And I got you. And I'll try my best to make things succeed.
I will do the same for you, Jules, whenever it's not endangering other people or ourselves. Other than that caveat, I will do what I can to help you succeed.
Granted, I do see that, I no idea who that person was, so I was also very okay with leaving. But you know what? If
It worked
I'm
out.
also not gonna let you
You
be
did such a
found.
good job that it didn't raise a stink. So
I'm not gonna let get push and pull. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna let you get found, but I'm also okay with leaving that person.
as
there, so.
as Jules is talking, I'm gonna kind of slowly push Lubo off of me.
Does Lubo acquiesce?
Yeah. I wasn't like holding him up by his throat or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at that moment, you see this like drunk dwarf walk by, and he just goes, "We all got problems," and then walks on.
Oh, walk a straight line before you judge.
So,
And with that, guess I will take back off. Well, I don't know where we're going. Dwarf, where are we going?
Well, we're
Going to
no point in waiting around here.
a brother of yours?
Yeah. So let's get close within eye shot of
Yeah.
the mansion, and then we'll make a plan.
okay. So, you begin to move through the city toward the mansion, which is sort of on the other side of town from where you're at. The Gardal estate is kind of up on a raised, like, plateau that sits above the kind of general height of the city. And, it's in a well fortified position, obviously, being what it is. But it's not hard to find. It sort of sticks out. And
Also, it's Dubar's old house, so
yeah, so Dubar knows where he's going. You do pass by sort of the route that you see leads to the new part of the town, the Vulgate expansion, but nothing happens as you go by, and you are able to, make it to near the Gardal estate rather unscathed.
Okay, so I assume I would still know where. Okay, first off, what time of day is it now?
You have no idea. You're underground.
I was to say, time of day
Well,
doesn't really matter.
I'm a dwarf. Wouldn't I be used to that?
So, what you're used to is not really having a time of day. The culture of the Dwarven culture is one that, like, basically everyone syncs up to sort of like a clock.
Party
And
all
time
night.
of day is
Which
a
that
little
sounds
bit.
awful lot like the time of day if you have a clock.
Well, okay, you got me. I would say you get the sense that it's something along the lines of like 6 p.m.
Okay. I mean, I get
Before
that.
lunch
Like,
or after lunch?
Uh,
That's just the real question.
p.m. So after lunch.
and I get like the dwarves wouldn't go up and down with the sun. Like I understand that, but like there's got to be some sort of
Some
timekeeping.
agreed, whatchamacallit?
Yeah, it is.
Like, societal timing mechanism.
You know what? I'm creating this on the spot, but I like the idea that one of the aqueducts slowly throughout the day fills up a hammer that hits a bell. And
Tight.
Alright.
that's how you
Very
keep track of
Dwarven,
days.
I take
So, yeah. So there are a number of bells throughout the day, and they all ring at a slightly different tone. And you are approaching the third bell of the day, which is sort of like the evening bell.
Okay, so I would know. So I guess my question is, do I approximately know where my brother would be?
Is he a
Maybe.
creature of habit?
I mean, you know where his
Is-
room is, but based on what you've gathered, he is, not restricted to the estate.
Okay, so. Alright, so in character, I guess. So I think the best course of action. We had a plan at one point to send Athena with a
Mhm.
note,
And then still on the table?
and I feel like that's the safest, easiest path.
I mean, gotta start somewhere.
I'll tell him some rendezvous. Hopefully he can be alone, and then we'll go wait for him.
Sounds good
Does
to me.
anybody else have anything?
How far are we from the manor exactly?
So you can control Athena.
About
I
you're
can
about a
see-
block, like a city block away.
Is that more or less than 200 meters or 100 meters?
It'd probably be a little more, but you can get within range without being too close to.
You're saying I could possibly sneak up closer?
Yes.
That's what you're telling me? Okay.
Yes.
I just want to make sure.
So, is
So
your
do you
end
have
goal to
any-
sort of get within range for Athena to do her thing?
I mean, she can do her thing anyways. It's just I can kind of be more helpful to her.
Okay.
If we are within range without rousing suspicion.
So
Okay,
do you
yeah.
have any paper in that magic bag of yours?
Probably. Do we have paper or somewhere we can procure paper? I do not explicitly have paper written down.
Yeah.
Maybe in my disguise kit, I would have some paper.
Are we gonna have to pull teeth to find some paper on her line?
No.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna write a note basically saying, hey, I don't know if, like, lore-wise or whatever, like, I could not use my name and he'd still know it's me without... Basically write it in a way where he would know, like, my family would know, but a servant wouldn't know.
Yeah, I would say you and Aaron Barr have enough, like, history that you could sort of code it a little bit.
You and your brother don't have a secret code in case one of you turns into.
That's kind of what I'm
or
thinking.
confronted
is
with
something.
a shapeshifter or something.
Yeah.
Contingency plan.
So I'll do that and tell him to meet us. Okay, again, lore-wise
Spot.
or whatever, where would Dubar think the best place is to be?
Probably just
for a
Aaron Barr's
rendezvous?
bedroom. Or his study.
No.
You know that he has
No.
a study set
No,
up.
no. Where we could meet at outside of the.
Oh. I mean, the place
Alright,
where
that's-
you guys draw the least attention is the market district, but Aaron Barr would draw a lot of attention there, so... Dubar would
Oh.
probably say...
Yeah, surely Dubar knows more places
Yeah.
around his home city.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking what would be the most
Yeah.
logical. You would say probably by the, there's probably an alley under an aqueduct. It's sort of like a sketchy area, but definitely no one would, like, recognize or care who you were down there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll say that. Write it, give it to Dubar, or not Dubar, give it to Bran, and say, well, found a good spot for it.
Okay.
You're definitely gonna have to be standing next to me and, like, guiding me as I'm, like, blind and guiding Athena.
Yeah, give me a sec, I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Guys, I just want to say that little interaction was one of my favorite roleplay moments you've ever done.
It
We try.
was a spicy roleplay.
Mm,
It was a jewel sandwich.
yeah,
Inner character conflict.
I love it.
Yeah. You're on a team. Act like part of a team.
Exactly.
I'm hearing this from Lupo right now.
Yeah. Absolutely. I am a soldier. I work in conjunction with other people.
Mhm.
That is the whole goal.
No, it totally
We keep
makes
each
sense
other
for
alive.
Lubo. Yeah.
I feel no
Lupo-
shame over what I've
yeah.
done.
That's okay, because I feel like Bran is a selfish person, and that is why that
Bra-
is how
Bran
that
is-
situation played out.
Bran is selfish for saving someone.
Yes, because he is part of a team. You did not listen to your team members who asked you not to do that, and you did it recklessly.
One team
and
member.
No,
And
that's
then,
not.
and then I was assisted by another team.
You would have
Because
failed
we had
were it
already
not
been-
for the other team member jumping in because you did something that we did not ask. We asked you not to do. Like,
But given
Jules
that
also
it was
did
gonna
not want
happen-
Bran to go off there. Like,
Mhm.
But I wasn't gonna let him fail.
Well, it turned out awesome either way. I think that's the most important part of, like,
yes.
yeah.
Okay,
So,
I'm back.
all right. So,
Fly, I think.
yes.
What is
So
she flying
what?
towards?
So you write a note, sort of telling Aaron Barr the whole spiel, and she flies off toward the estate, towards where Dubar sort of describes.
To me,
And
to relay to her.
yeah, and
And
she's
I-
beyond your ability to see through her eyes, but
100 feet.
yeah, so she's beyond that. So you see her through her eyes to an extent. Then she goes into the room, but you can't see at any point. And she comes back, and you get this feeling from her of like, I did it. Like, okay, success.
He delivered the note to the supposed dwarf.
She delivered the note to a dwarf matching the description.
All right. Well, I suppose we go and we wait.
Mm-hmm.
So, you make your way down to the aqueduct area. And a bit of time passes. Just enough for you to start to get a little bit nervous.
I mean, also I'm gonna kind of be on alert here, just in case it wasn't who we intended to give the letter to.
Okay.
Jules is
So-
etching stuff into the wall underneath the bridge.
So,
Grade A Jules. I'm gonna look over and just shake my head.
so after a time, someone does approach. And he's hooded, but you can't help but notice the sort of fine clothes that are under the hood. And when he pulls the hood off, you see this like short, brown bearded dwarf with sort of like mid-length, well-kept hair. And Dubar, you recognize him immediately as your little brother. And he looks at you almost dumbstruck, and he just goes, Dubar? It's... And he just walks up and gives you a hug.
I will reciprocate.
Oh my god, I have so many things to tell you. You won't believe what has been happening. The city's in chaos. I can't believe it.
Alright, I'm gonna raise my hand and say stop. Or stop.
Okay.
I want to introduce you to my companions. I'll say here's Bran and his better half. And
Wow.
then
I'm
Jules.
going to
He points
just
and he
again shake my head.
he shakes your hand, but like he shakes your hand while he's looking at Echo, and he goes, "What's that?"
He is a panther in the lands of Barovia.
Creature from. That's awesome.
I've done a lot of things. Then
So
here's
was
Jules.
After my introduction, I want to kind of keep an eye and make sure that he wasn't followed by anybody. No,
Jules
go on lookout.
Okay, make an insight check.
in
Ryan.
a
Oh, can I give you the spyglass so you can have advantage?
Can he do that?
It wouldn't be helpful in this particular scenario.
I want it to be useful.
Cluttered city.
That was like a 12.
It doesn't seem like he's been followed.
I will continue to be on the lookout.
So,
Yeah.
Jules, in a very different manner, will actually clean his hand and extend it.
and he shakes your hand and he goes, "Wow. I mean, I've met humans before, but like, you guys look really cool." And then he looks up and he goes,
Like,
he just looks
How
up at
old is
Lubo and he
Jamal?
goes, "How old is what?"
How old is this brother? Just out of curiosity.
Much younger than him. About 19, in that general vicinity. A little older than
Yeah.
Jules, but
Yeah, I'm 30, so 19 would be.
19, 20 in that general range. He doesn't
Say
look like
that-
a kid. He just kind of talks like one. And he looks up at
And,
Lubo and just goes, "Whoa."
And that would be Lupo.
And he reaches his hand way up above his head.
Yes. I just I try to seem intimidating. Not like threatening, but just like, can I just use intimidate for no effect?
Yeah.
Like, make an intimidation check just to be passively intimidating.
Sure. Hold on. I need to see, because this is a very, very big inner conflict for Aaron Barr at this moment. Which is going to win? Fear or curiosity? The answer is curiosity. So he goes, wow, you're a tiefling, right?
I am.
I've read about your people, or at least what we can get down here, which is mostly stuff from the temple, which I assume is mostly not true.
I am curious what you read.
Oh, the temple says that you're all byproducts of some event that happened hundreds of years ago, some demon that corrupted a town, and that's where all of you come from.
Okay, I'm gonna take a shit on his shoe. No, I'm not gonna do that. I do not do that, but Lubo also does not like that. You have been misinformed, small person.
I am sure most temple books don't seem to make any real logical sense. I can't make heads or tails of it. You seem nice, though. Really scary, though.
Thank you.
Well, Aaron Bar, is there... Well, hold on. I guess we couldn't really go eat somewhere. That would be...
That would be unwise.
tricky. Yeah.
If Dad found out that you were here, that would be... That would be bad, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
That,
well,
oh, it would.
not to be rude or anything, but maybe we can skip the formalities at the moment and kind of get to why we're here and taking such risk.
That has had me curious. You wouldn't have known about any of the crazy stuff that was going on, so you're definitely not here for the chaos in the city. I don't think that you care about my mentor, so you wouldn't care that he's disappeared, or you wouldn't have known that he had disappeared, so that's not why you're here. It has to be some kind of a surface problem, but I can't think of a surface problem that would have you come down here. How could we have any relation to that?
So
What are you
you're
here
still
for?
doing that? You're still doing that, huh?
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Well, if we have time, I'll help you with your mentor. You're right, I didn't know about it until recently, but
He was kidnapped and has disappeared into the Verloren.
that's kind of fortuitous, because that's exactly where we want to go.
All the reports say that it was some group of outsiders. They described them as being very weird, not dwarves, mostly elves, humans.
Mm.
I don't know.
Did the name the Red Hand come up at all?
No. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know about
Well,
any surface groups.
Have you continued with your studies on the Verloren, I assume?
Oh, nonstop.
Nonstop. Has a piece of an ancient sword ever come up?
Which one?
Well, there's more than one.
What?
Well,
How about one? We'll start with one called Caliber.
Caliburn's not a dwarvish sword.
I
Wait a
didn't say
minute.
it was Dwarvish.
Well, then there's only one.
Okay.
There's an old story, some kind of tale about some king from the surface. At one point, apparently ruled over the land above where we are now. He came down here to do some kind of treatise with the dwarves, and he went, apparently, helped to lead a Verloren expedition. And I guess, as the story goes, they found something, although it never is specific as to what they found, but it was significant enough that this king and the dwarves who were with him decided to seal it away. Apparently, the people that were with him made some kind of room or shrine. Something was made to honor that they came down there. And as far as I've studied, it's one of the only things from the surface to ever exist in the Verloren. It would stick out like a sore
What?
thumb.
Do you know roughly where this thing is?
I
Or
mean,
could you find it?
the stories say that he set out from Gat Shaw, so obviously it's somewhere that he could have reached on foot, which means that ostensibly so could we. It says that he traveled in the Verloren for about a week to get there, which puts. It's hard to judge distance. The Verloren's like a maze. But if he could get there in a week, then we probably could too. They didn't have maps either. They would have had to look. They would have taken wrong turns to get where they were going. So,
But do they have an expert navigator such as yourself?
the story doesn't mention one.
Well, then
Well.
we should be able to cut that time in half.
Um,
So-
wait, what?
I'm about to ask you something, and you don't have to, but I am asking as your brother.
Okay. You want to
We
know if I'm
are
going to go into the Verloren with you?
long and short, yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay, well, what's
need to
the
go get
best
some
way
books.
to do it? Hold on, hold on. How are we getting in? Do you have access?
Oh. Good point.
Yeah.
Yo.
Is there any way you can get access? Can you hire a party to do it?
It would have to be
Or-
Dad. We would need a writ
Possibly.
from Dad.
Yeah.
Or any noble, actually. Any lord could give us permission to go in, but the only way we're going in through the Great Gate is with a writ of orders by a lord, which, mind you,
Or
if they know that
we-
you or I...
Or we've
Or
heard the
the-
Merchant Guild. I think it's the Merchant. No.
Mason.
What is
The
it?
Mason's Guild.
Is it the Mason? Okay, the Masons Guild has access.
If they do, I didn't know
Is it
about
the Masons or the Carter's Guild?
It was the Masons. You remember hearing that.
Do I know anyone? I don't think we know anyone.
Also, does his brother know of any other ways then?
Well, the Great Gate's the only way that I know of, and that gate only opens if a lord sanctions it. I've heard that the Masons Guild has been getting in, but if they have, it hasn't been through the Great Gate. But I don't know. By
So
the
what,
way,
they just write on a piece of paper and they just present it and voila? Or what?
you would need a seal.
Yeah. Aren't you a scholar of it? Have you ever been down there?
I've been down once as part of an expedition with my mentor, but he did it
Okay.
all officially.
Wait,
Can't you just say that you're going to run your own expedition and you're hiring some people?
Father would never allow it right now, not with things the way they are.
okay, so I'm going back. I'm gonna try to pull something out of my ass here because whenever you become a noble, again, when you're making the character, you get a signet ring.
Yes.
Does my brother have a signet ring?
Yeah.
Fuck, so I can't use that as the seal.
No. A seal's a different thing.
Okay. Yeah, it would have to go through our father, I think, and
And it's more than just a piece of paper. They would have to send word. The guards would likely have to hear from Father himself. It's not something that you can just fake. Not unless you can look like, sound like our father, have our father's seal, write in our father's handwriting, and have enough dwarves coming with you to present with you that you look official.
it sounds like we have to go through the Masons Guild.
Or any other lord. Again, though, if we're going to go through another lord, they can't see us, Dubar, because if they know that they're sending in Gardal children, they'll never go for it.
Yeah.
So, tell me more about this gate.
The Great Gate?
Yeah, is it like set in stone? Like
Yeah,
you
it's-
only go through the gate. You
It
don't
was
go over the
carved-
gate.
It was carved from the granite itself. the Great Gate connects to the entire rest of the Verloren, and it was sealed. Well, it was shut some time ago. No one really has any definite answer. Most scholars put it between 9 and 1100 years ago, to keep out all of the things that were destroying the Verloren, which at the time was just the Dwarven Empire. And now it only opens for expeditions. And all other times it stays shut and very, very well guarded.
So, these expeditions, how regulated are the people that go in and out? I mean,
Very.
I know that they have to have the letter and seal and all that good stuff, but
Well,
can they
and
say, "Hey, we're bringing these 10 guys," and then 10 people enter?
yes, if a noble lord sanctions it, he can bring as many as he wants. In fact, most expeditions don't even go with less than 30 people. If you do, you typically don't come back. My expedition had 45 people that went, and we did lose 2 people.
Well, lucky us.
Well,
So,
we're not normal people, I wouldn't say, so the odds are skewed, I suppose.
what lore do you think we could get in on this?
Well,
Or
Oh.
not get
I-
in on, but get to sanction it?
Let me ask you this question. Who is your father's least liked house?
Well, I think we're trying to not involve us in the negotiations.
Oh, we can still possibly do that. You know, if we just have just enough insider information that makes it appetizing to the other house, and maybe we can use that as enough leverage to buy our ticket in.
Well, what, do we have a rival house?
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you do. It's House Rand. They are one of the only houses that has a longer lineage than your own. And going above and beyond that, House Rand has always kind of frowned on the Gardals and their debt industry.
Hey, maybe y'all get along. Forget you like that.
So I don't think either I nor my brother can be there at these negotiations if we go with them. Y'all would have to use us as a trump card last resort.
Mm-hmm.
And why are we going to your nemesis exactly? Are we involving you somehow?
No,
I
it
mean-
would be more of a don't use my brother going there as like leverage unless it's just really necessary.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, like, why
want-
do we need it to be your nemesis house anyway? Couldn't it just be anybody if we're not using your names?
Well, again, it's just for the fact that if they don't agree, because it doesn't happen every day that, you know, they send a expedition, maybe a member of the Gardal family wanting to go would incentivize them to,
Oh, I see. Okay.
as sort of a fuck you sort of thing.
it's like, oh, we took your sons on an expedition whenever they wouldn't even go with you, kind of thing.
And profited from your son,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, ideally, we wouldn't use you two. We
Just use
true. Yeah. Well, not even him. If we have some kind of information that say, well, I don't really want to do this, but say, oh, we know the location, or we know that there is a powerful artifact down here, yada yada yada, and I mean, we come back with some piece of garbage or whatever, and we're like, look, we found it, and then they're like, get the hell out. But we actually recovered the artifact that we're looking for. Kind of do a switcheroo, you know. But by that point, we'll have what we want, and your Nemesis family or Nemesis house. But yeah, whatever. Unless you really want to be buddy buddy with them for some reason.
Not really.
Yeah. I mean, I know you don't like your family, but I don't think you dislike them that much.
Yeah.
So, that's my thoughts.
Or, I mean, the Masons Guild also. We could try them.
Yeah.
I vote that.
Yeah, I think that's our first bet. And then if that doesn't work out for us, then we try the alternative method.
Okay.
What's your brother's name again?
Aaron Bar? No, that's my.
No, it's Aaron Bar.
That is, yeah.
So Aaron Bar. How 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 do I put this? How proficient are you at dangerous encounters?
Hold on. I want to see one thing real quick.
No, I was just about to say I wasn't. So hold on, before you do anything.
Okay.
While I didn't want to interrupt him because he was kind of on a roll, but I was gonna say while they say that conversation, I was gonna take a peek up and see if anyone's like coming.
Make a perception check.
That's it. To dump into the. That's an 11.
You don't see anyone coming. So
With my dark vision.
yeah, you don't see anyone coming.
Would seeing Jules do this and Brand being like, "Oh, I should also be looking." Or
I'll allow it.
that is what was it doing? Perception. 17.
Yeah, you still don't see anyone coming.
No. Just making sure.
So what did Bran just ask Aaron Bar?
I was asking him how proficient he was at combat encounters and stuff. I want to know if we're bringing down a liability, if we're bringing someone that is competent to a degree at combat if things get sideways.
Well, I mean, I know a little bit. But
Magic, sword,
so
Dubar's inventions.
so remember I said I went on a Valyrian expedition
Yes.
and how 2 people didn't make it?
Yes.
Well,
Were they saving you?
no.
Okay.
Well, yes and no.
Or are they saving you directly?
Sort of. So we found something. This sort of glowing thing. I didn't know what it was, so I went to examine it. Nothing happened, so I got a little closer. Finally, I touched it. And, well, ever since then, well, by the way, first off that, there was a bit of a explosion. I was not harmed by it, but there were these strange entities that kind of came out from the thing. 2 people died killing them and saving me. But ever since then, I've kind of been able to do some magic.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
So 2 steps back. First, what were these things that summoned? Can you describe them in more detail?
They looked like, I don't know how to describe it. They were spectral, some sort of blue, but not like a description of a ghost. They didn't look like people. They looked like just entities. And they could cast magic. No,
Demons?
they didn't look like any description of a demon I've ever seen. They looked like just spheres of energy.
Jules, do you still have the thing we recently acquired?
I have many things we've recently acquired.
The thing that you got from Saxton.
Yes, I do.
Would you mind showing it and seeing if there's a correlation, possibly?
I am going to very gently pull out the Archon Sphere.
Does it
So he
look like
looks at it.
something like this?
He looks at it. You see his eyes go wide, and he goes, "No, it didn't look anything like that, but that looks awesome. Can I look at it?"
Nah, don't.
Later.
Okay. No, it was more spectral and kind of pale blue. And they shot bolts of arcane energy. Yeah, they were difficult to get rid of.
All right. So what did you learn from that expedition, your previous expedition?
And what magic can you do?
Well, I can
You
Can
sidestepped the question.
So to answer your question, I learned. Well, you see, it's difficult because at the end of the day, you still have to touch things to examine them, and that's why you go down there, right? Is to examine things. So it's sort of a catch-22. If you don't touch it, then you don't really examine it. You don't always know what you've got. But if you do touch it, sometimes things explode, and I don't know what to do in that case. So what I learned is to ask people before I touch things.
Exactly.
Smart.
That was the good rule to follow in life.
So, and as for what I can do, I can manifest certain elements. I find myself very proficient with lightning, which is strange for a dwarf. We don't have that down here. And a few other arcane manifestations.
Does anyone else know about this?
No. Well, yes.
Okay. Who?
Ooh.
So my mentor, Ambrose, he knew. We were actually studying it together. Also Gergely. He knew. He kept it.
Was Gergely on the mission?
No, Gergely didn't go with us.
Was Gergely on the quest?
No, but him and I are friends. He collects Verloren artifacts and lets me examine them. So there's him, and that's it. No one in the family knows. That would, I think, frighten them.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah. I haven't totally perfected the art yet, though. I'm getting better, but magic is weird, and sometimes things happen.
Oh god, he's a wild mage.
Okay, well, as much as I am a sucker for get-togethers, I feel like we've been under this bridge for a little bit.
Yeah, what did you do with
Will anyone?
Oh, I have it with me.
Okay.
I'm not.
Will
down
anyone
with
be
the
looking
bar.
for you?
Not immediately. I've only been gone for a little while. I leave all the time to go and look at Gergely's things and to study, in other places, and sometimes to just walk around. It's weird here. They don't want me going as much because of the state that Gatchal's in, but things are getting tense.
So
I'm actually
he's a merchant.
I'm very upset with everyone. I've been pleading with Father and with everyone else that I know that why haven't we been looking for Ambrose? He's a crucial member of Gatchal, one of the most respected people in the entire city. And people won't go because everyone's afraid that there's fighting is going to break out over this, whatever Vulgate thing is. So no one's willing to send people. House Rand did. They sent an expedition. But those guys didn't come back. So...
Well, let's get
Yep.
let's get this train moving.
Sometimes the best way to find a solution is to find it yourself. Is it not?
Yeah, sometimes. I find that a lot, actually.
Well, let's make preparations to do so, I think. All right, Dubar?
Okay, I'm with you.
Oh.
I will have to... Probably it would be wise for me to go back home while you guys go and sort out how we're going to get in. But I can meet you back here, 24 hours?
Is that enough time?
That should be enough time. I hope.
It should. Random aside, Do you know how to properly utilize guest fungus and distill it?
I mean, I
Yeah.
don't. It's
Do
not
I know
difficult.
that?
You probably would. You have alchemy proficiency. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, never mind. Between the two of you. Alright.
Mhm.
Yeah. Make your preparations. Meet us back here in 24 hours.
Okay. I'll
Do your
bring.
best. Do your best not to be followed,
I'll try
please.
to bring only my most important books. I really shouldn't need many. I don't know if Dubar told you. I can remember everything I read.
That is very useful. But also, um,
Then why do you need the books?
Well, because I haven't finished reading all of them.
okay.
Fair.
I have a lot
I,
of
I,
books.
I would rather him bring them and we not need them than we need them and they're in his house still.
Well,
I
and
think
also,
carrying around a lot of books is a good use for a bag of holding.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was fixing to propose.
a lot of the
So,
books have pictures, and I don't remember pictures as well as I do words for some reason.
Fair enough.
Nice save.
so, I'm going to show him the bag of holding and say if you can carefully get the books out, I can help you keep them
Mhm.
within reason.
One other
Don't
thing.
bring a whole
Sorry.
library.
Something I kind of just realized though. Dubar, if I just disappear for a week or more, well, I mean, Dad might, like, I don't know, burn down the city or something. Things are really tense. I'll do it. I'm happy to because I want to find Ambrose. But
Could you leave a parting note to
that could
kind
work.
of quell his anger? I don't
That
know
could
if that's
work.
the best solution. It's an idea.
Would your buddy shopkeep buddy be willing to play ball?
I doubt it. He doesn't like to do that kind of thing. But I can leave a note, and I think that that would at least stop Dad from trying to blame it on guilds or something. He really hates the guilds. He's looking for an excuse right now.
Yeah.
Will
Well,
that be the last thing you do? Don't give him a reason.
make
Yeah,
make sure he's not the only one that sees the note.
of course, of course. I'll make multiple notes. I can kind of spread them around to people that I trust and people I know. And then,
Also,
but
this is
also, I was bringing it up.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was bringing it up to say, Dubar, I'm not sure what would happen if you talk to him, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm being crazy.
But I'm gonna hold my. I haven't decided yet.
That's fine. That's fine because I don't even know how it would go.
so point of contention possibly. So we're gonna figure out our way in, and also kind of our way out, but also not really. So we're gonna come back up here, and we don't know what we're gonna be coming back into.
Mhm.
So in such an event, what's our course of action? Do we find another exit, or do we come back here and possibly have to shoot our way out? Or I just want to think about that now before we go down here and get in the thick of this. Any ideas? Any any uh, any takers?
I mean,
I'm kind of with the one fire at a time, but I also get what you're saying.
I mean, we gotta think 2 steps ahead, kind of. I agree. We need to focus on the task in front of us, but also the what comes after. We don't need to be blindsided by. You know.
Well, what
Well,
comes after is hard to predict. I
And
mean,
I,
assuming things stay the way they are and no one fires the first shot, then all we'll really have to deal with is our dad's fury.
that could be a catalyst for this whole thing. This place is
Yeah,
like powder keg right now, and you leaving is the one spark that may just set it all off.
it could.
Am I off base in that assumption? I'm gonna
Not
look to
entirely.
both
I mean,
Dubar and
there's a chance that if word gets out that I've gone looking for my mentor, there's actually a chance it could put everything on pause. I don't know that, by the way. I don't know that at all. But
I mean, that
Ambrose,
is
Ambrose is the leader of our Dubar. You would know, but the leader of our religious institution. His word would go miles in maybe breaking this deadlock. The the Chantry hasn't stepped in yet because they don't have a leader to step in. If they did, maybe it could sway everything and there could be a peaceful resolution. I don't know. But if they thought there was a chance he could come back, maybe it would make everyone wait. I I have no idea. It's just a thought.
Jules is going to take a third look perception check.
Okay, go ahead and make another one.
Because we've been down here a minute. That is a 13.
Yay.
also, what would the response be? These people that possibly kidnapped your mentor, uh, would them would they be enough of an opposing force to rally all of Gatshaw against them?
Maybe? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't do people
You won't?
well. I don't do politics.
I'm gonna look to Debar and get his weigh in on the situation. Just, I know your information, your knowledge is limited from being away for so long, but from all the time you did spend here, what do you think? Is the Red Hand a big enough opponent, and based on what we suspect they've done, to maybe kind of turn this from a standoff into a rally for
Well,
all the dwarves of Gretron?
I don't know how big they are, but as you can see here, it would take a hell of an effort to overthrow a city like this. So I don't know. I'd like to think it wouldn't, but I can't promise.
I mean it in the sense that maybe we can kind of diffuse the situation and turn all the kind of ire towards the Red Hand. Is it feasible in any capacity or no?
You would take all of the houses, believing the evidence that they're at fault, and that doesn't sound.
I mean, if we were to return with a very reputable witness, that could be a pretty good
Well,
case.
that can be something we can use as leverage to help getting access.
That's true. Uh, we still haven't figured out our exfil, but
Yeah, I mean, I feel.
uh, some things just gonna make up on the fly,
Yeah. Well,
act in the moment.
let's just go talk to the Masons Guild, find somewhere to lay down, and then we'll figure something out by tomorrow.
So we shall.
Oh, Aaron Bar,
Yeah.
one last thing.
Mhm.
What kind of creatures are in the Valoran?
um, a lot.
So what I mean, I know there's a lot. Is there a common theme? I don't know how else to say this.
Well, there's all kinds of normal creatures. Some call them deep stalkers. Many worm-like entities that burrow. Rust monsters. So many things. Going beyond the standard fare, well, there's all manner of scary thing. A lot of the myths talk about creatures that the main creatures that are responsible for the fall of the Dwarven Empire, but to be quite honest, I don't know any reports recently of anyone ever seeing them. they're
So
kind of a
if-
myth at this point.
How so? Could you classify them into like Fae or anything of that nature?
What's a fae?
I can surely to God he
Fantastic.
knows something like that.
That's surfacer stuff, man. Like, way, way outside of his wheelhouse.
I'm gonna guess not Faye.
Brand, did that any of that sound familiar?
Does any of that sound familiar?
Um,
Because I'm fishing. I think you know what I'm fishing for, but just to say it, I'm fishing to see if I can make some bullets.
okay. So after a short exchange with Aaronbar, I think you get the sense from here. You know what? I'm gonna have Aaronbar make a roll. Ooh, okay. So
Wealth of knowledge.
I need to look something up actually. Shit.
Oh shit.
I had a book fell. Not bad. So, one thing that you are told that would be very helpful would be monstrosity, anything to help fight monstrosities, and anything to help fight elementals.
Yes, we kind of knew the elemental part already.
Or
In a roundabout way.
those?
Worms.
Are those Oh, let me look at my notes. Hold on.
Did he say rust monsters?
Mm-hmm.
He said worms, right?
Yes. Question. Would So could a rust monster rust a silvered weapon?
The silver rust?
I don't think so. It tarnishes, but it's like an entirely different kind, like chemical thing.
Yeah.
Versus,
I don't know.
Does fuck, what's his name? Gilga.
Silver doesn't
Galgan?
rush. It tarnishes.
What's shopkeep guy's name?
Gergely.
Gergely. Do you know if Gergely has any trophies or anything of the like from these creatures?
Well, I know recently he acquired some purple worm venom.
Okay. We might have to give that old coot another. What is it?
Okay. So,
Silver?
player check. How's everyone feeling?
I
I think it's.
I'm good. Good.
feel
I
like
think it's a pretty
prob-
good place to stop.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. So then, if everyone's feeling like stopping, then I guess we will call that for this game. To our one viewer, Ernie, thank you for sticking around. And we will pick up with these guys figuring out how they're actually going to get in to the Verloren next time we play. We don't have a sign-off phrase. See you guys.